for staying tuned to Newsmaker Live with me, your host, Laura. Trending in the news this week. A number of things have me a little perturbed, and that's just putting it mildly. Is St. Lucia becoming the new Mexico St. Lucia? In the past recent weeks, we've had a number of brutal slashings and beatings with machetes. A few weeks ago, a young man in Vieux-Fort was chopped and left for dead in a drain. He subsequently died of his wounds. A week from that, we had another chopping incident in Bexar where a young man lost his foot. This week, we're hearing about a young man who over the weekend was attacked by thugs, for want of a better word, machete-wielding thugs, slashing him all over his body and leaving him for dead in the middle of the road while his family and friends look on. St. Lucia, do we care what is happening with our young people? Why they are so angry? Why there is so much angst within them? It's amazing. It's amazing, but it is very, very, very scary when we hear about those incidents. And the scary thing is, it's not contained within one area. This is like a malignant cancer that is infecting the entire country. It's happening all over the island. And we really have to be concerned about this. Is it okay now to raise the ire of somebody or to express ourselves without fear of, well, somebody finding us, calling their thugs and coming after you because you've said the wrong thing to them or you did the wrong thing in their eyes? What are we becoming, St. Lucia? What are we becoming? The only thing that comes to mind when I think of all of these slayings is Mexico. What next? Beheadings? Now, some weeks ago, I made mention of the number of fires that we've been having in St. Lucia. And I also questioned what happens with the investigations of these fires. Because we have all these investigations with all of these fires. We're told by the fire chiefs and the authorities and the persons responsible that the fires are being investigated. And we haven't heard anything with regard. Weeks and weeks later, we hear nothing about the outcome of those investigations. So you would have thought that I would be happy and pleased to hear that we're having yet another fire station being built. And I am. I am grateful. I am happy. Bravo. Bravo to the ministers responsible. However, it wasn't so long ago that our Prime Minister told us, I believe if my memory serves me correctly, that there would be a moratorium on hiring of fire officers and police officers until 2017. So it kerfuffles me when I hear of another fire station being built. Because, again, if my memory serves me correctly, we would have been told by Shane Felix and other fire officials that the fire stations that we currently have in existence cannot be adequately manned by the number of firemen and women that we currently have employed within the fire service in St. Lucia. So, the question I have for the officials is this new fire service, station going to be a white elephant, or is it a necessity? I believe it's a necessity, but without the requisite number of firemen and women to man that fire station, what exactly is the point? Are we spinning top in mud and throwing good money after old? I mean, it is just clear as day. If you have an additional station, It has to be manned and it has to be equipped. It is pointless saying, oh, well, we built another fire station. But guess what? If the persons that this fire station is supposed to service cannot get serviced anyway because we don't have the requisite number of persons to man the station, then what is the point exactly? Inquiring minds want to know. Now, from the fire service to bomb scares, which is kind of intertwined, because you would recognize, realize that the fire service would be called out if in the event that we have a bomb scare which pans out. Earlier this week, yes, I believe it was Monday, I'm driving through the Rodney Bay area, running some errands, and I noticed that the gap going into Rodney Bay from the road leading from Grosley was closed. So I had to make the round. And then I eventually came up to an officer and I asked him what was going on in there. And he said there was a bomb scare. I said, a bomb scare? I said, could we access the malls? Because, you know, on either side of the strip, there are two malls. There's the Bay Walk and there's the JQ Mall. And he says, yeah, you can access the mall, but only as a pedestrian. And I'm thinking to myself, are we really prepared, St. Lucia, for bomb scares? In the eventuality that a bomb scare actually pans out, are we prepared? Because I'm thinking, whether I'm a motorist or a pedestrian, I'm still at risk. That place should have been evacuated. Nobody in that area should be allowed to stay there, not coming in, or whether you're at work already, remaining on premises. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm asking the question again, are we really prepared in St. Lucia for a real bomb scare? We just take things too lightly in this country. It boggles the mind. Now, I'm not sure if the next item trending in the news is supposed to be hilarious, if it's supposed to be serious, if it's supposed to be... I can't find a word, and trust me, it's not easy. It's not every day that I am dumbfounded. This one is an international news item that is trending right now. And it's amazing what the human mind can come up with. I'm speaking of bestiality. Is this the new American trend? Listen to this, St. Lucia. In Geneva, a 39-year-old Geneva man has been arrested and charged with bestiality after authorities say he targeted the family dog as a way of getting back at his wife. John Edward Medley was arrested on June 12th and charged with engaging in sexual act with the family Shih Tzu, which weighs about 5 and 10 pounds. It's a tiny dog. It weighs less than a newborn baby. Investigators say the animal is expected to be fine. Medley allegedly targeted the dog as a way of retaliating against his wife, whom an investigation shows appeared to be paying more attention to the pet than him. Now, seriously, St. Lucia, seriously? Your wife is paying more attention to the dog than you, and so you decide to rape the dog? Oh, maybe it's not even considered rape in St. Lucia, because can a dog be raped by a human? Interesting question. But that's just one. You would have thought, oh, that's an one-off thing. But no. Around the same time in Arkansas, Jonathan Ford, a 32-year-old man, was arrested on a bestiality charge. This man runs a dog rescue out of his home and was arrested and accused of engaging in sexual act with an animal. Jonathan Ford, 32, was booked on a bestiality charge after an investigation into the Pope County man's, listen to this, I Love Lucy Pet Rescue. Yeah, he runs an operation called I Love Lucy Pet Rescue. He would go around getting those abandoned and abused pets and help find foster homes and permanent homes for these animals in need in rural Arkansas. Little did people of this area know that he was an animal abuser. Now, really. So I came across these articles, and I know that it's not pertaining to St. Lucia, but I figure we're not living in a vacuum. It would be nice for me to bring out certain things that's trending. And the reason for this is, when I read those articles, I made the comment to someone and I said, you know how they say when America sneezes, we catch a cold? I hope this is not a trend that takes hold in St. Lucia. And that was the look that I got. Really, Laura, goats and sheep have been raped in St. Lucia since time immemorial. Go figure, the human mind. We will take a break, and when we come back, we will find out more about investigating rape. Stay tuned.